One of the most common questions is an obvious one is what's next? People want to know, what are you working on now? How do you decide what you're working on now? And because they want more.
Yeah, yeah, I'd like to make more. I'm trying to make more. So I guess the base, why do I select what I build? I was thinking about this the other day, and I guess it's the way, or similar in the way that musicians work. They release their first album and everyone thinks, wow, that's a one-hit wonder, this is great. What's next? The fact is that it's taken them 10 years to make their first album, and then it's, what's your second album coming out next year, because you've signed this agreement. And now do they go back to their back catalogue and find old songs to release? I don't know. So my starting point has always been buildings that I've been interested in, and architects' works that I like, and things that possess a challenge to me. So developing the Guggenheim and having never made anything like that before, that was the first challenge. And you kind of know that if they can build a real building, I'm sure you can make a model of it. So everything's achievable. It's just how long does it take? So at the moment, the work that's out there is work that I like, work that I've got an affinity to. I think the Unity Temple was the first building that I was introduced to at college. A little black and white photograph in an old history of art book, and to be told that that was one of the first, well, apart from the Romans, a cast in situ concrete building. And then the work of Mies van der Rohe, the Farnsworth House. It's iconic. Whether you could live there or not is another matter, but it's formed the basis of a whole design movement. How do we decide what to make available? That again changes. Working with the Guggenheim, you think, and I think that took about a year and a half to go from the please can you make a model to it being on the shelf, and that gave me what I thought was an insight into how an operation like that would work. You think, well, I've spoken to the Guggenheim, I know how it kind of works. But the moment you start talking to other organizations, and I'm lucky enough now to have a licensing agreement with the people that operate the Farnsworth House, and a licensing agreement with the Frank Lloyd Wright Foundation, and also the Tate in London. And they all operate in completely different ways. They all merchandise their products in completely different ways. The way they generate their income from what they sell is completely different. How they perceive their product is completely different. And I'd like to think that my products align with the organization that I've kind of affiliated to. Hopefully they can benefit from the selling of the models. That's kind of core to my kind of, I guess, what drives me.